Chapter 6. My Sister's Keeper. Moira quickly shut the curtains and jumped away from the window. A few seconds later, she gathered her courage and reopened the curtains and searched for the girl in the ballerina costume, but she was no longer within view. Moira paused for a moment of reflection. Am I seeing things? The grandfather clock on the wall struck 4 p.m., and the loud blaring sound startled Moira. She threw her backpack down and ran up the stairs 2 at a time. She flicked every light switch she ran past. She paused to catch her breath when she reached the top. It's just a silly coincidence. She checked her phone, curious to see if Edward had called or left a text. He had not, but she did receive a couple unusual texts that read, "Be quiet," followed by the number 998. Moira deleted the number, but as soon as she did, another text saying the same identical thing came through. She blocked the number, put her phone away, and walked toward the bathroom. Moira wanted to look her best for Edward, so she gathered her courage, took a deep breath, and walked in the bathroom, making sure to leave the door open. She looked in the mirror and shook her head, disgusted with what she saw. She grabbed a towel and quickly removed her runny makeup. Next, she ruffled through the drawer for her hairdryer. When she found it, she plugged it in, turned it on high, and started the arduous process of drying her hair. She combed and blow-dried it simultaneously to revitalize it back to her straightened style. She thought about what she could wear and decided she would wear a pair of tight jeans and a blouse that complemented her shoulders. Moira was fairly tall for a 16-year-old. She stood about 5'7" and had mocha skin. Her hair, when straightened, hung past her shoulders. She had a slim build and had an uncanny resemblance to her father. After combing her hair for several minutes, she gave up and placed the comb on the vanity. "Why is my hair so hard to straighten?" she shouted. The lights in the bathroom flickered. Moira panicked and turned toward the bathroom door. A hooded figure stood in the doorway with its back turned toward her. "Hello? Who are you?" Moira whispered. The unknown individual didn't speak. It stood in the middle of the doorway as if it wanted to block Moira from leaving the bathroom. Moira removed the hairdryer from off the counter and held it above her head. As the hooded figure turned around, Moira closed her eyes and charged toward it. The hooded figure screamed and held its hands in front of them to block Moira from attacking. "It's me, Moira! Don't hit me!" it replied. Moira stopped charging and lowered her hands to the ground when she saw who it was. Rain took out her earbuds and placed them in her pocket. "Rain, why didn't you answer me, and what's with the black hoodie?" "I can't hear with my earbuds on high, and it's wet outside. I forgot my umbrella," Rain replied. "You scared the bejesus out of me. Please, no practical jokes on Halloween. You know I despise the dark," Moira replied. "Moira, it was the thunder and lightning that caused the lights to flicker. They went off all over the house." Rain examined Moira's uncontrollable mane and walked toward the sink. Rain was the direct antithesis to her sister. She stood 5'9", had caramel brown skin, and her sandy brown hair hung to her waist. She was a fully developed 18-year-old who all the boys adored for all the wrong reasons. Rain walked in the bathroom and pulled some supplies from the bottom cabinet and placed them on top of the sink. Moira enviously watched as Rain took a rubber band from one bag and pulled her hair off her neck and put it in a ponytail. She motioned for Moira to sit down on the closed toilet. Rain used the comb to part Moira's hair down the middle and applied some detangler hair solution. She held a small section and combed through it. "What's his name?" Rain asked. "This isn't about a boy," Moira countered. Rain stopped combing her sister's hair and playfully pulled her head back and looked at her directly in the eyes. "You have never run in the house, thrown your backpack down, and started blow-drying your hair right after school. It's a boy. Now spill the tea," demanded Rain. "He probably doesn't even like me. I mean, look at my flat chest, darkened skin, and bad hair. Besides, he hasn't called or texted yet," Moira replied. Rain stopped combing her sister's hair and kneeled down in front of her. "Moira, you shouldn't talk down to yourself. There are plenty of girls that would love your lean frame, beautiful thick hair, and mocha skin. Besides, you're only 16 and you're still growing." Moira sighed and exhaled. says the girl with caramel skin, long beautiful hair, and big boobs. You and Mom don't know how it feels to look like me. Life has crowned you both with everything society deems beautiful. Big boobs benefit everyone, but the person who has to carry them. I gave up track because of these, but I'm making peace with my body, and you should too. Rain finished styling her sister's hair and told her to look in the mirror. Moira examined the style and shook her head. This look says Bora Mora. I need a look suitable for the Halloween party. Did he ask you to come to his Halloween party? Rain asked, excited. Well, we kind of asked each other, Moira sheepishly replied. Go get your man, little sis, Rain joked. Rain held up her hand and Moira gave her sister a high five. Stay right there. I'll be right back. Rain dashed out of the room and returned with a pair of Louboutins, a long-curled wig, and her Birkin bag. Moira jumped up with excitement and hugged her sister. Girl, this is from the expensive side of my closet. Guard these items with your life. Rain, I promise I will, Moira replied excitedly. If you pair this with that little black miniskirt that we bought at Bloomingdale's and put in your contacts that Mom doesn't know about, you will have his undivided attention. Have a seat. You can thank me later. Rain braided Moira's hair in cornrows and then adjusted the wig on her head. She took out her makeup compact and held it up in front of Moira. This is waterproof. It's suitable for any weather. Moira sat back and watched Rain match the colors of makeup against her mocha skin. She decided upon a chocolate mocha, which was a perfect match to Moira's skin tone, but darker than Moira preferred. Moira did not complain. She decided to just enjoy the makeup session with her sister. When Rain finished, she covered Moira's eyes and led her out the bathroom so she could examine her appearance. Moira ran into her room and changed into her outfit. A few minutes later, she walked into the hallway and stood in front of Rain. You are beautiful, wig or no wig, makeup or no makeup, and do not let anyone tell you otherwise, Rain replied. Moira gave her sister a big hug. Rain turned Moira around and pointed her toward the mirror. Moira studied herself. For the first time in her life, she was beautiful in her own skin color. The person in front of her was not a reflection she was familiar with. She jumped up and down in excitement at her makeover. She wondered what Edward would think of her fresh look. It had taken her quite a few attempts to get her contacts in, but she succeeded and loved her face without glasses. Moira's beautiful mocha skin glistened under her sister's new makeup. It evened her mocha tone, and she was ecstatic that Rain had covered up the discolored patch of skin above her lip. She pulled her newly long hair over her shoulder. Blood-red lipstick colored her perfect, plump lips. The perfect shade of bronze eyeliner enhanced her beautiful brown eyes. She had on a pair of gold 3-inch pumps and made sure that her Birkin bag hung perfectly in the crease where her arm met her elbow. She flipped her temporarily long, luscious locks over her shoulder, pouted her red lips, and placed her hand on her hips, as if she were a supermodel posing for the cover of a fashion magazine. Rain took the brush she was styling her hair with and held it to her mouth as if it were a microphone. Moira Manning, you're this season's next supreme model. How does it feel to be crowned the winner? Rain asked. She extended the imaginary microphone in front of Moira's lips. Moira fanned her face with both her hands. It's an honor to be among the country's most beautiful women. I just want to thank the fans, the judges, and everyone who helped me reach this momentous goal, Moira recited. As she stood there, Rain watched her sister's confidence radiating. Moira flipped her long hair to the side, flaunting it. A single tear fell down her cheek, and Rain used a cotton ball and lightly dabbed it away. Don't cry, Moira, or you'll make me cry. Thank you, Rain. You made me beautiful, Moira replied. Rain tilted her head back to fight her own tears. Don't thank me yet. We still have to get you out of the house without Mom seeing you dressed like this. You know she hates for us to wear wigs and makeup. Let me check downstairs to make sure the coast is clear, Rain replied.